You see the title, the Central Park Five to be exact, sue Trump for defamation. They're trying to sue Trump right now as we speak about his comments in a 1989 case where they were innocent. I'm not gonna speak too much. The video is gonna show itself. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comment section about all this that's going on. There's already a lot going on. This added on top, so I'm gonna be pausing it throughout the video to talk about it. If it's stuff to talk about, let's get right into it. Let's go.
2 weeks to go until the election, and former President Trump is facing a new legal battle. Members of the Central Park Five are now suing the former president over, quote, false and defamatory statements they say that he made about their 1989 case during a presidential debate last month.
CNN senior crime and justice reporter Caitlin Polans joins us now with more. Caitlin, what is in this lawsuit?
Well, this lawsuit is about comments that Donald Trump made publicly at this presidential debate. At the debate in September in Philadelphia, Kamala Harris had brought up the fact that Donald Trump, just days after the Central Park Five were arrested, this assault in Central Park in 1989, he had put an ad in several newspapers, full page, that said, "Bring back the death penalty, bring back the police." And then Donald Trump responded at the debate just this year this way.
A lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park Five. They admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty.
So the Central Park Five.
I honestly don't understand anything he just said. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I might be tripping. I don't understand nothing he just said. Let's get right into it. Let's go.
I now say that he is saying these things as a way to cause distress to them because they were exonerated ultimately. They had ultimately settled with New York City after being forced into giving false statements. They had gone to trial. And they are all saying now they never pleaded guilty. They were cleared of the wrongdoing. No one was killed in this attack in 1989. And this has been a pattern from Donald Trump dating the whole way back to the aftermath of that attack when these men were arrested, that he has wanted to intentionally harm them and cause them distress. And one of the plaintiffs, one of the men in the Central Park Five, he was at that debate in Philadelphia and even tried to approach Trump. And they had what he said, or what his attorneys say, was they wanted to have some sort of polite discourse about what Trump had said in the moment on national television about these exonerated men. And Trump essentially blew him off. He wouldn't engage with them. So this lawsuit is a defamation case that they're bringing now to try and say, you know, make us whole, stop intentionally lying, stop intentionally harming us. And of course, the context here is right before the campaign. There's quite an ongoing appeal among the campaigns to black men specifically, a lot of discussion about crime. And then also in this context, Donald Trump has been found liable for defamation before against E. Jean Carroll.
Joining me now to discuss is Shanin Specter. He's the lead counsel for the Central Park Five in this case. Shanin, thank you so much for being with us. Why did the group decide to sue former President Trump?
Well, first, Boris, thanks for having me on. 67 million Americans saw Donald Trump say that these five men pled guilty to quote, having killed, unquote, this woman, and those statements are false and defamatory. They did not plead guilty, and they did not kill anyone. In fact, the victim did not die. And these men now have to clear their names all over again.
I'm gonna be honest. I honestly didn't know that the victim did not die. So technically they didn't kill anyone. I mean, obviously it would be like attempted murder, but to say they killed someone is insane. They didn't. First of all, they didn't do it in the first place. I feel pretty sure we all freaking know that. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. They didn't do it in the first place. Donald Trump know they didn't do it in the first place, if that's what he's claiming. But obviously, if you're guilty, you're guilty. But obviously, they're not guilty. So if you say that in front of all the millions of people, I don't know, man. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. I'm not taking sides on the Democrat, Republican. I'm just letting you know what's going on in the video that we attended to right now. Make sure y'all subbing, y'all subscribing. Same thing. Subscribing to the channel and comment, hitting that like button, because we're gonna be posting every single day. Let's get back into it. Let's go.
Mr. Trump failed to acknowledge that they have been fully exonerated, that the person who was guilty confessed, was convicted, is serving time in prison, that the DA's office
Did not know that.
petitioned the court to vacate the conviction, that the judge signed that order. And so these men have been fully exonerated, and yet Mr.
And
Trump
he found the person that did
continues
it.
to
It's insane.
suggest that they are guilty.
Shannon, the lawsuit claims that Trump acted with reckless disregard when he made those comments. What evidence are you planning to present to that effect?
Well, Boris, the lawsuit says that he acted either knowingly falsely in what he said or in reckless disregard for the truth. Donald Trump knows better. He has been after these men for the past 35 years. He took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for their execution 35 years ago.
That's
He knows
insane.
that they have been exonerated. He's a New Yorker. All this happened in New York. And he knew better when he said those words during his debate with Vice President Harris. He knew that these men did not plead guilty. He knew that these men did not kill anyone. He knew these men are not guilty. And yet he persists in this campaign of disinformation and hate against these 5 fine men.
I want to get your reaction, Shannon, to a statement put out by the Trump campaign, a Trump campaign spokesperson putting out a statement calling the lawsuit just another frivolous election interference lawsuit that he claimed was brought to distract the American people from Kamala Harris's dangerously liberal agenda and failing campaign. What's your reaction to the accusation that this is tied to the Harris campaign and to the election?
Boris, I'm not talking about politics. We're seeking redress in the courts. It would have been a lot better for Mr. Trump if he had not had a campaign spokesman speak for him, but rather his lawyer, and for his lawyer to say whether what he said was true or false and what they are going to do about this lawsuit.
When it comes to the damages that you're seeking, what do you think that could look like?
Well, unfortunately, under our system of justice, we can't compel Mr. Trump to apologize. We can't compel him to issue a retraction. But what we may do is to seek money damages, fair damages, to compensate these 5 men for the damage to their reputation and for their emotional distress from being defamed in front of 67 million Americans, and fair damages to punish Mr. Trump for his wrongful conduct.
What do you think, Shannon, happens to the case if Trump is elected?
I think if Mr. Trump is reelected president, the case will be stayed during the pendency of his presidency. But he may not be elected. We'll see what happens. Eventually, either sooner or later, we are going to get justice.
Shane Inspector, we have to leave the conversation there. Appreciate your time, sir.
Boris, thank you so much.
There y'all have it. It's like every day I wake up, it's something new with these politics in the news, bro. Every time I wake up, go on YouTube trying to find a video to react to or whatever, and I look at the titles of these videos, I'm like, bro, there's no way. I fell asleep for about 7-8 hours, sometimes 4 hours, and this comes up this fast. It's always something to react to when it comes to policy shit, man. We 2 weeks away from the election. Like, bro, golly, shit never stops. Y'all let me know how you feel about this down in the comment section, y'all. It's a shame because I know it's like you could sit on trial and be in jail for a long time and be innocent, and your reputation is just messed up when you get out. No matter if you're innocent or not, even if you're innocent, people still look at you like you're guilty. It's insane to me. Like I said, let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section, y'all. I got a lot more videos to do, y'all, so I'm gonna get up out of here. Make sure y'all sub out to the channel, like the video, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload, y'all.